And now I am joined by my friend, the victorious Jessica Rose Clark. Jess, first off, let me start with congratulations, young lady.
Thank you. Thank you. I had fun.
You look like you don't have a mark on you. Look, your offense was very clearly on point, but I don't know that you've been even given credit for your defense. It looked like you barely took a scratch.
I think I got hit with one spinning back elbow as she was like trying to get out of the clinch because I have a little bruise, but that was it. I don't know that I got punched.
I will tell you, she was so tough. I was so impressed with her grit, her heart, her wanting to come back. Let's talk about the one controversial moment in the fight. You have a tie plum, you throw a knee, lands flush, she goes down. At that point, did you think the fight was stopped? Because as a viewer, I did. I thought, we're all done here. What was going through your mind?
Yeah, so first thing, as soon as Tony jumped in, I looked at my corner and I was like, did I win? Because I wasn't sure. Like, I didn't feel, I wasn't sure if it was legal or not because I knew she was going down. I watched in her previous fights that she likes to shoot like that. She drops down to her butt and then tries to shoot off the cage. So I kind of thought it might have been illegal. That's why I didn't really celebrate. I was like, oh, did I win? Because I didn't know if he was stopping it or not. And then Chris was like, no, don't go and talk to your corner, and made me go over to the neutral corner. And I was like, oh, shit. All right. That was probably illegal. And then I was more surprised by him restarting her in a seated position, though. I wasn't surprised that it was going to restart, but I thought if he was going to restart us, it would be standing up, but that poor girl, he made her sit down on her butt against the cage again.
So emotionally, though, for you, whether you think, okay, it's done and I got disqualified, or it's done, I won by TKO. I mean, how do you keep your emotions to go back out? You and I know as athletes, there is nothing more exhausting than having an emotional high or an emotional low and then trying to bring it back.
Yeah, absolutely. So honestly, I think the fact that he told me to go to a neutral corner straight away helped me not get too excited. Like I didn't have that, oh my God, I won feeling. I was like, oh, okay, something's going on here. So I can kind of keep myself reined in. But honestly, like there were so many different emotional factors with this fight where I wasn't at a super high energy anyway. I was just really happy to be there. So it was it felt like I was everything felt I was at sparring at the gym. So I wasn't too high that I got excited about winning and then had to bring myself back into the fight. It was just like, okay, I'm gonna keep going, which I am grateful for, because any other time it probably would have been hard to rein myself back into the situation again. But I don't know, it was just I didn't feel any sort of way about it.
And speaking of that, you bring up a sparring session. Speaking of that, what was it like to fight in an empty arena? I mean, your walkout, which is a good rush, or even your walk back where people are patting you on the back and you feel good about yourself. All of that's gone. So what was that like, going from the warm-up area to all of a sudden Bruce Buffer saying your name, which I guess you go, okay, I guess this is real. It doesn't feel real, but I guess this is about to happen?
Yeah, so I think the whole event, it was so bizarre. Like people had told me, yeah, it's just like sparring in the gym. Like no one's there. It's like you're sparring in the cage in your home gym on a Saturday, right? So I kind of went in there with that thought already. But then the warm up was so rushed. Like everyone was warming up in the one room. It felt like I was back on the regional scene. Like the whole environment at Apex felt like I was fighting back in Brisbane in Australia. Like it was just so bizarre and so different to what I've been used to with the UFC that I had no time to warm up. I think I hit pads for 3 minutes and then it was like, right, you're on. Like that was it. We just walked out. And I think that helped me keep my emotions pretty even though. But I definitely missed it after the fight when I was like, oh, no one's cheering for me. Like there's no one to celebrate with, It was like a pretty quick drop. You know what I mean? Like a pretty quick low, sorry. Because I was like, there's no energy. It's just, oh, cool, my coaches are super happy and I'm happy, I guess. But like, where's my friends? Where is my family? That was really weird. The actual fight was amazing. Like I was having conversations with my corner through it because there was no external noise at all. And I think that helped keep me super calm. So I'm hoping I can keep that same energy when the crowds come back. But I really liked fighting in front of no one.
So I don't know where this comes from, but Hans Molenkamp has convinced himself that he is a jinx. And it's not just you, it extends to Juan Archuleta, and he's not going to watch TJ's next fight. He's not going to watch Rampage's next fight. I don't know where that comes from, but he thinks he's a jinx. So I then elected myself as the one who needed to call Hans and let him know round by round what was going on. And he was hanging up on me. And then you were even in the last round. And I'm like, Hans, the fight's over. He's like, it's over. I'm reading along. It doesn't say it's over. I'm like, yeah, okay. It's not over. Like, this fight is over. She won. You can celebrate. He's like, is it over or not? I'm like, well, that's a bit of a trick question, Hans. No, it's not over, but yes, he hangs the phone up on me in disgust. I swear that happened.
Where that came from. I have no idea where he came up with that. Like, honestly, last night was the first I've heard about it, because I have asked him a couple other times, like, oh, did you see Cowboy fight? Did you see blah, blah fight? And he's like, no, I didn't watch it. But then he never told me about the, oh, I don't want to watch my friends fight because I'm cursed, you know. He's right here right now making faces at me. But I'm very grateful. I'm grateful that you didn't watch my fight.
Look who's there. What's up, Hans? Hey, so Jess, let me ask you this. Looking ahead, we got a big weekend this weekend, 2 title fights. Let's start at the main event. Adesanya versus Costa. Give me your take.
Honestly, I feel like I'm supposed to go for the Anzacs, right? I'm supposed to go for people from my region, but I've always been a fan of Costa. Like, I've been a fan of how he fights. Clearly, I'm a fan of how he looks. I feel like every woman is a fan of how he looks. But I love how aggressive and how mean he is. So I don't know. I'm also still salty at Izzy for beating Robert Whittaker, because Robert Whittaker is one of my favorite fighters. But I think, yeah, it was like that happens quite often when people beat my favorite fighters and then I just hate them forever. So I'm not a fan of Izzy because of that. Yeah, I don't know. It's either going to be super boring or it's be really, really heckin' exciting. I'm not going to cuss.
You know, and I'll tell you, it really is a clash of styles. Like, generally when we talk about that, we're talking the basic, the grappler versus the striker. And while these guys are both strikers, they're totally different. I mean, you have a technician. You have an absolutely rhythmic technician in Adesanya versus a straight up in your face brawler. I mean, they're 2 totally different styles. Whether they're going to contest it on their feet or not, these are not the same guy.
No, absolutely not. And I think unless Izzy stings him, like, Paulo's not going to back off. That's it. He's so aggressive with his striking. Like, how he fought Yoel, you know, and Yoel has long been known as the power puncher of that division, and he did not care at all. And Izzy, like, good counter strikers go off being able to create actions and reactions and then counter off that, which is what Izzy does. Like, he counters everything. He's got beautiful rhythm, beautiful timing, but I don't know how you counter someone as aggressive as Paulo. Like, you have to make him feel your power or feel what you can do early. Otherwise, he's not going to give you an in.
All right, another world title fight also contested this weekend. They're calling it a co-main event. I mean, I feel like it's a main event followed by an encore, but Dominic Reyes, Jan Blachowicz, what's your opinion?
I'm not a huge fan of either of them. I do think fight with John Jones could have gone to Dom, you know, but I don't know. I've never really enjoyed either of their fights. That's all I can say. So I don't know how that one's going to go. I think it's going to be quite boring.
All right. Hey, fair enough. Let's get back to somebody who you are a fan of. You. What's next for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, are you calling anyone out? Are you looking at anyone in the division? Are you waiting for a match to happen? But where is your mind at right now, competitively speaking?
Honestly, I may have hurt myself. So I have to go get an MRI on Friday. So that's kind of going to determine what happens next. So if I'm uninjured, then I don't know. I've been wanting to fight Bea Malecki. I've been wanting to fight Tracy Cortez. Like, there's some good girls in the bantamweight division that are unranked. I don't know I don't know that they'll give me ranked fighters yet. Like I would like to have more than just one win in the division before I start fighting the big names. You know, like there's so many girls in the bantamweight division that I've been watching since before I even started fighting. So I would like to hopefully get a few more fights before I get up to that level and start facing them. But it's really this MRI on Friday is really going to determine everything, to be honest. I always wanted to fight Betch, and I'm super bummed that she's retiring because she's about to have a retirement fight. And she was like, I remember hitting pads. I had this like Irish gypsy boxing coach back in Australia, and I remember hitting pads at 5 a.m. every morning. We'd just be talking about Betch, and I'm like, I want to fight Betch. I want to fight Betch. And now I'm here, and she's leaving.
By the way, speaking of her being retired, that one's been a bit of a mystery. She retired, and then all of a sudden she goes, no, wait, I'm not retired. In fact, I'm going to fight again, but this fight is my retirement fight. Am I missing anything? Where is Betch in her career, and why is she in and out? Did I miss a piece of the story somewhere?
No, that was all I saw. Like it was 1 minute. She's lost like three or four fights in a row. You know, she had a pretty rapid decline from the top. Like she fought Ronda Rousey, and ever since she fought Ronda, she's just gone down and down and down and keeps losing. So I understood why she retired, because it's like she got to the top and she very clearly is is quite a few steps away from getting there again, you know? But yeah, I don't know. Retiring and then getting a retirement fight against a clearly handpicked opponent is such a bizarre thing. I didn't even think she had that sort of relationship with the UFC, but it seems like they're trying to work with her or kind of hook her up for a retirement fight. I'm not sure. You definitely didn't miss anything, because that was what I saw. Is Betch is retired. Oh, psych, I'm not retired. I'm fighting this Korean girl.
Okay. And when you talk about your MRI, I don't want to overstep your personal medical information, but can you tell what got hurt? Did you hurt your hand?
No, it's my knee, which is the only thing that makes me think it might be something a little more long term. I heard it a couple of weeks before the fight, and then I heard it again in the fight. So now I got to go get it looked at. It's a little unstable, a little sore. Hopefully it's nothing serious, but.
And if I can ask you, a mutual friend of ours, Donald Cowboy Cerrone, fought that night, and it sounded as though at the press conference that Dana was leaning towards the idea of, hey, Cowboy, you've done great. You had a great performance. It wasn't a loss. What do you think about moving on and not doing this anymore? I'm paraphrasing. Dana didn't say all of that, but I feel like I got it pretty close. What's your thoughts there? Should Donald ride off in the sunset? Has he got a couple more? What do you think?
I don't think he needs to retire. I think he needs to reevaluate what he's doing with his camps and training, you know? Like I feel like I'm seeing this with a lot of high-level fighters right now in particular, where they're setting up their own shit, you know? Like they're bringing in their own people. They're like telling their coaches what to tell them. They're controlling their camps too much instead of going to someone who has the skill set and the knowledge to teach you and being willing to learn from them. So I feel like if Cowboy was willing to become a student again and go back to a coach and stop running his own stuff, he could still be in there hanging with the young guys that are coming through right now. Like he has the skill set 100%. I think he just needs direction. And so then it's going to be like he said in his post-fight interview that he had some evaluating to do, that he needed to go back and figure out what was wrong and what was missing. And I honestly believe it's that. Like I know personally how much coaches can either make or break you, you know, and I think him having a coach and someone that he trusts and someone who can guide him might be what he needs to get back to the Cowboy that, you know, we all love is that one that was knocking people out with head kicks all the time.
I see it the same way. And I know what you're saying. I hear about that ranch. I hear all these guys that are coming out and he's mentoring them and he's pulling them up. But the truth is someone needs to pull him up. And a coach can't make up a big difference. But if you can get here and a coach is here, he can make up that gap. And I don't know who's training Cowboy completely, but I do hear what you're saying, that it is very important that he has someone to listen to and to trust.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know that he has a coach. I know he has the pad holder. I know he has Jafari, who he does all his wrestling and grappling with, but I don't know that he has someone that helps him put it all together anymore. So I don't know. I don't know if he would go back to Greg. I don't know what he would do.
All right, Jesse, I appreciate you. I don't want to take too much of your time. Do you have anything you want to get off your chest? You got any hopes, goals, dreams, secrets, any rumor? You want to start a
Any
rumor about somebody?
secrets? I
Say
mean,
again?
I'm always down to start rumors. Secrets. I don't know if I have any secrets. I did have a dream that I went on a date with Adesanya last night, and I don't know how I feel about that because like I told you my feelings about him.
And what did you guys do? Did you go bowling? Did he take you to a nice dinner?
No, he just wore really nice sneakers and we went and had ice cream. Like it was, it was so weird. I don't even know him and I hadn't even seen anything about him. But for some reason, last night I went on a date with Israel Adesanya. We had ice cream and he had really nice shoes on.
Well, whether you know him or not, you just flattered him. That was a nice compliment. So now, right? So now you do have somebody to cheer for. That's a great story, by the way. That was unexpected. I hope your knee is okay. I hope you're okay. And congratulations, girl. Couldn't have been more proud of you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
All right, guys. Jessica Rose Clark coming in very successful over the weekend. Apparently dreamed she had a date with Adesanya. I guess we'll have to leave it at that.